There's a reason you can't sleep right now, a reason your mind won't settle, a reason you picked up your phone at this exact moment and found yourself here reading these words. It wasn't restlessness, it wasn't insomnia, it wasn't random scrolling. It was a warning. Your spirit is alerting you to something your natural mind hasn't fully grasped yet. The enemy has launched a coordinated attack tonight, and you're in the crosshairs, not because you've done something wrong, but because you're about to do something incredibly right. Listen to me carefully. What you're about to walk into over the next few hours has the potential to completely derail everything you've been building. The traps have already been set. The strategies are already in motion. And if you're not aware of what's coming, you'll step directly into them without even realizing you've been targeted. This isn't about creating fear. This is about creating sight. Because the enemy's greatest weapon isn't his power, it's your ignorance. He wins when you don't recognize the attack. He succeeds when you mistake spiritual warfare for natural circumstances. He destroys destinies when chosen ones can't distinguish between genuine struggles and manufactured traps. But something happened tonight that changed everything. You were led here, to this message, at this moment, right before the attack intensifies. That's not luck. That's divine intervention, intercepting enemy strategy. That's heaven saying, I'm not letting you walk into this blind. Here's what makes tonight different from every other spiritual attack you've faced. You're closer to your breakthrough than you've ever been. The finish line you've been running toward for months, maybe years. It's right there. You can almost touch it. And the enemy knows that if you cross it, everything changes. Not just for you, but for everyone your life is meant to impact. So he's not sending minor distractions anymore. He's not deploying basic temptations. He's pulling out the advanced playbook, the strategies he reserves for chosen ones who are actually dangerous to his kingdom. The traps designed specifically for people who've made it this far and can't be stopped by ordinary obstacles anymore. You need to understand something right now. The intensity of what you're experiencing tonight is proportional to the magnitude of what you're about to receive. High-level attacks only come to high-level threats. The enemy doesn't waste sophisticated warfare on people who aren't going anywhere. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is why you're reading this right now. He may be moving, but you've been given his playbook before he executes it. You're about to learn exactly what traps have been set, exactly how they work, and exactly how to avoid every single one of them. Tonight isn't about fighting harder. It's about seeing clearer. It's about recognizing the patterns, identifying the tactics, and moving with precision instead of panic. Because when you can see the trap, you simply walk around it. When you know the strategy, you can't be deceived by it. What I'm about to show you isn't theory. It's not spiritual philosophy. It's reconnaissance. It's intelligence from the realm most people never access. It's the enemy's battle plan exposed before he can execute it. And by the time you finish reading this, you'll be so aware, so prepared, so equipped that every trap set for you tonight will close on empty air while you walk right past it into your breakthrough. The next 12 hours are critical, absolutely critical, but you're not walking into them blind anymore. The enemy moves tonight, but now so do you, with full awareness of every move he's making. Let me show you exactly what's coming and exactly how to counter it. 1. The trap of sudden emotional chaos. The first trap the enemy deploys tonight, and he's deploying it right now against chosen ones all over the world, is sudden emotional chaos. And I mean sudden. One moment you're fine, stable, grounded. The next moment you're flooded with emotions that have no logical source, no clear trigger, no reasonable explanation. Overwhelming sadness about something you already healed from. Explosive anger at someone who hasn't done anything to you recently. Crushing anxiety about situations that aren't even real yet. Desperate loneliness, even though your circumstances haven't changed. Irrational fear about outcomes you've already surrendered to God. This isn't your mental health acting up. This isn't you having a bad day. This isn't unresolved trauma randomly surfacing. This is warfare. This is the enemy injecting emotions directly into your field to destabilize you, to knock you off your frequency, to pull you out of the clarity and peace you need to make the right decisions over the next few days. Here's how the trap works. The emotion hits you with such intensity that it feels absolutely real. It feels like truth. It feels like something you need to act on immediately. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. Impulsive action, driven by manufactured emotion. So you send the text you shouldn't send. You make the call you'll regret. You quit the thing you were supposed to persist through. You sabotage the relationship that was about to turn the corner. You abandon the project that was about to break through. You make the decision that closes the door heaven was trying to open. All because you believed the emotion was giving you accurate information about your reality, when really it was giving you completely false intelligence designed to get you to self-sabotage. Don't fall for it. When sudden, intense, unexplained emotion floods your system tonight, and it probably will, don't react to it. Don't trust it. Don't make decisions based on it. Don't let it convince you that everything you believed yesterday is suddenly wrong today. Recognize it for what it is, an injection, a foreign substance introduced into your system to alter your perception and manipulate your behavior. You don't have to figure out where it came from or why you're feeling it. You just have to refuse to act on it. Feel it if you need to. Acknowledge it, but don't obey it. Don't let it drive the car. Don't give it decision-making power over your destiny. The emotion is the bait. The impulsive action is the trap. And your breakthrough is what the enemy is trying to prevent by getting you to step into that trap tonight. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Stay still. The emotional storm will pass. But the damage you do while inside the storm can last for months. 2. The trap of counterfeit opportunity. The second trap moving into position tonight is more subtle, more seductive, and catches even mature chosen ones off guard. The counterfeit opportunity. Something that looks like your breakthrough, feels like divine timing, appears to be the answer to your prayers, but it's actually a detour disguised as a destination. Pay attention, because this is where it gets tricky. The enemy knows what you're believing for. He's been watching you pray. He's been listening to your declarations. He's been observing your desires. And he's about to present you with something that looks exactly like what you asked for, except it's not. It's the relationship that has all the surface-level qualities you wanted, but none of the spiritual substance. It's the job opportunity that pays well, but pulls you out of your assignment. It's the partnership that makes business sense, but violates your integrity. It's the platform that offers visibility, but requires you to compromise your message. The counterfeit always comes right before the real thing. Always, because if the enemy can get you to settle for the imitation, you'll miss the authentic. If he can get you to commit to the substitute, you won't be available when the genuine article arrives. And here's what makes this trap so effective. The counterfeit usually comes with urgency. You have to decide now. This opportunity won't wait. If you don't move immediately, you'll miss it. That pressure, that rush, that artificial sense of now or never, that's the signature of the counterfeit. Divine opportunities don't pressure you. They might have timing, but they don't manipulate you with false urgency. They don't require you to bypass your discernment process. They don't demand immediate commitment before you've had time to pray, to think, to check with your inner knowing. Tonight and over the next few days, something is going to present itself. It's going to look good, really good. It's going to feel like the door you've been waiting for is finally opening. And you're going to feel pressure to move quickly before it closes. That's the trap. The real opportunity that's meant for you won't require you to panic, rush, or abandon your peace to obtain it. The real breakthrough won't demand that you override your discernment and jump without clarity. The genuine blessing won't make you feel like you're forcing something, or chasing something, or convincing someone. If it's real, it will feel like alignment, not anxiety. It will feel like peace, not pressure. It will feel like confirmation, not confusion. Don't let the fear of missing out drive you into the arms of a counterfeit. Don't let the enemy use your impatience against you. Don't let your desperation make you settle for something that looks right but feels wrong. Wait for the real thing. It's closer than you think. But if you grab the counterfeit tonight, you'll be locked into something that delays the authentic for much longer than you want to wait. The trap is set. Don't step into it. 3. The trap of manufactured conflict. The third trap the enemy is activating tonight is manufactured conflict. And this one is designed specifically to drain your energy, break your focus, and pull you into battles that have absolutely nothing to do with your actual assignment. Here's how it works. Someone is going to come at you, maybe through text, maybe through a phone call, maybe through a social media message, maybe in person. They're going to say something that triggers you, challenges you, disrespects you, or completely misrepresents you. And everything in you is going to want to respond, to defend yourself, to correct the record, to set them straight, to make sure they understand, to win the argument, to prove your point, to establish your position. That's exactly what the enemy wants. Because while you're engaged in that conflict, you're not engaged in your purpose. While you're spending emotional energy on that argument, you're not investing it in your breakthrough. While you're focused on defending yourself against an attack that doesn't even matter, you're distracted from the assignment that does. The conflict is the distraction. The argument is the trap. And your energy is what the enemy is trying to steal. Some battles aren't worth fighting. Not because you can't win, but because winning still means you lose. You lose time. You lose focus. You lose peace. You lose momentum. You lose energy that was meant for something infinitely more important than proving a point to someone who isn't even supposed to be in your next season. Tonight, the enemy is going to use people. Sometimes people you care about, sometimes people you barely know, to bait you into conflict. The conflict will feel justified. It will feel necessary. It will feel like something you absolutely must address right now. You don't. Not every accusation deserves a response. Not every attack requires a defense. Not every misunderstanding needs to be immediately corrected. Some things you have to let people believe about you. Let people say about you. Let people think about you, because engaging with it would cost you more than letting it go. This doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're passive. It doesn't mean you're allowing people to disrespect you. It means you're strategic. It means you know which battles are yours and which battles are distractions. It means you value your destiny more than you value being right. When the conflict comes tonight, and it will come, pause before you respond. Ask yourself, is this my battle or is this a trap? Is this worth my energy? Or is this stealing energy meant for something greater? Will engaging move me forward, or will it pull me backward? 9 times out of 10, the answer will be clear. It's a trap. Walk away. Stay silent. Refuse to engage. Protect your energy like your breakthrough depends on it. Because it does. The enemy knows he can't stop you directly. So he's trying to get you to stop yourself by draining your energy through meaningless conflict. Don't give him the satisfaction. 4. The trap of isolation through offense. The 4th trap being deployed tonight is particularly insidious because it uses your own hurt feelings against you. Isolation through offense. The enemy is going to try to get you to cut yourself off from the very people and communities you need most by making you feel offended, overlooked, or misunderstood. Here's the setup. Someone close to you is going to do something or fail to do something that hurts your feelings. Maybe they didn't show up for you the way you expected. Maybe they didn't acknowledge something you thought they would. Maybe they made a decision that didn't include you. Maybe they said something that landed wrong. And in that moment, offense rises up. You feel slighted, disrespected, unappreciated, taken for granted. And the immediate impulse is to withdraw, to pull back, to distance yourself, to protect your heart by removing yourself from the relationship or the community. That's the trap. Because what the enemy knows, and what you need to remember, is that your breakthrough isn't coming in isolation. The next season you're about to enter requires community, requires connection, requires specific relationships that are already in your life. And if he can get you to sever those connections right before you need them most, he can significantly delay or distort what's trying to manifest. Not every hurt is an attack. Not every disappointment is betrayal. Not every moment of feeling overlooked is evidence that people don't value you. Sometimes people are dealing with their own battles, their own struggles, their own limitations, and it has nothing to do with their love for you or their commitment to you. But the enemy will use that hurt to whisper lies. See, they don't really care about you. You're always giving and never receiving. You're always showing up, and no one shows up for you. You're better off alone. You don't need them. Distance yourself. Protect yourself. And if you listen to that voice, if you act on that offense, if you isolate yourself right now, you'll be alone when you need to be connected. You'll be separated when you need to be supported. You'll be cut off when you need to be covered. Tonight, the enemy is going to try to manufacture offense in your heart toward people who are actually assigned to your destiny. He's going to amplify every small slight, highlight every perceived neglect, magnify every moment of disappointment, all to get you to push away the very people heaven positioned in your life for this exact season. Don't fall for it. When you feel offense rising, when you feel the urge to withdraw, when you feel hurt that wants to harden into bitterness, pause. Ask yourself, is this really betrayal, or is this just human imperfection? Is this really an attack, or is this just a moment of misunderstanding? Is this really worth severing a connection that might be critical to my next chapter? Protect your relationships tonight. Guard your connections. Don't let offense isolate you from your community. The enemy wants you alone because he knows you're more vulnerable when you're separated from the people who carry your same frequency, who understand your assignment, who can speak truth when you're being attacked with lies. Stay connected. Stay in community. Stay open, even when it hurts, even when it's disappointing, even when you wish people would show up differently. Because the isolation is the trap, and your breakthrough requires you to stay in relationship. 5. the trap of premature exposure. The fifth trap the enemy is setting tonight is one that appeals to your desire for validation and recognition. Premature exposure. The temptation to share what's not ready to be shared, to reveal what's still forming, to announce what's still being constructed in the secret place. You've been working on something, building something, developing something, receiving something, and it's starting to take shape. You're beginning to see the outline of what it's becoming, and it's exciting, it's powerful, it's exactly what you've been waiting for. And right now, tonight, you're feeling an overwhelming urge to share it, to post about it, to tell people about it, to get input on it, to test the waters, to see how people respond to it. That urge is a trap, because what's forming in you right now is still vulnerable. It's still in the development stage. It's still being refined in the hidden place where only you and heaven can see it. And if you expose it too early, if you bring it into the light before it's ready, you subject it to energies, opinions, and vibrations that can damage it, distort it, or kill it altogether. Premature exposure has destroyed more destinies than outright attacks, because when you share something before it's time, you open it up to doubt, criticism, misunderstanding, jealousy, and interference. You give people who don't have the spiritual capacity to understand what you're carrying the ability to speak into it, to question it, to diminish it with their limited perspective. And even if they mean well, even if they think they're being helpful, their input can plant seeds of doubt in your mind that shouldn't be there. Their questions can make you question what you knew with certainty. Their concerns can make you hesitant about what you are confident about. The enemy knows this, so tonight, he's going to amplify your desire for validation. He's going to make you feel like you need to share, like you need to announce, like you need to get feedback, like you need to let people know what's coming. You don't. Not yet. Not tonight. Not while it's still forming. Not while it's still vulnerable. Not while heaven is still putting the finishing touches on what's being prepared for you and through you. Keep it hidden. Keep it sacred. Keep it between you and God. Let it develop fully in the secret place before you bring it into the public space. Because what's formed in concealment carries a power that what's formed in the spotlight never has. The trap tonight is the pressure to share prematurely, the temptation to announce before it's time, the urge to get validation before you have the inner certainty that doesn't need external confirmation. Resist it. Stay quiet. Keep working in private. Keep building in secret. Keep receiving behind closed doors. And when it's truly ready, when heaven gives you the green light, when the timing is divine and not just convenient, then you can share, then you can reveal, then you can step into the visibility that matches what you've been developing in the invisible. But tonight you stay silent about what you're carrying. Because premature exposure is a trap designed to destroy what's not ready to be seen yet. 6. The trap of physical and mental exhaustion. The sixth trap the enemy is using tonight is one of the most practical and one of the most overlooked: physical and mental exhaustion. The strategic depletion of your body and mind so that you don't have the strength, clarity, or resilience to resist when the other attacks come. You might have noticed that you're unusually tired tonight, more exhausted than your day's activities would warrant, mentally foggy, physically heavy, emotionally depleted, and you might be tempted to dismiss it as just being a long week, just needing rest, just normal tiredness. But pay attention to the timing. This exhaustion is coming right before something significant, right before a critical decision, right before an important conversation, right before a moment that requires you to be sharp, clear, and strong. That's not coincidence. That's strategy. The enemy knows that when you're exhausted, your discernment gets dull. Your resistance gets weak. Your boundaries get blurry. You make decisions you wouldn't make when you're rested. You tolerate things you wouldn't tolerate when you're strong. You agree to things you would refuse when you're clear-headed. Exhaustion makes you vulnerable to every other trap on this list. Tired people fall for emotional manipulation they would normally see through. Tired people say yes to counterfeits they would normally discern. Tired people engage in conflicts they would normally avoid. Tired people take offense at things they would normally overlook. Tired people share prematurely what they would normally protect. So the enemy's strategy tonight is simple. Keep you awake when you should sleep. Keep you working when you should rest. Keep you processing when you should pause. Keep you moving when you should be still. Also, that when the real attack comes, you're too depleted to defend yourself effectively. Don't let him win this way. If you're exhausted tonight, rest. Even if things feel urgent. Even if you feel like you should push through. Even if you think you can't afford to stop right now. Your body is telling you something important. You need to replenish before the battle intensifies. Sleep is warfare tonight. Rest is resistance. Taking care of your physical body is spiritual warfare. Because when you're rested, you're dangerous to the enemy's plans. When you're clear-headed, you can see his traps. When you're strong, you can resist his attacks. But when you're exhausted, you're vulnerable, and the enemy knows it. So here's your assignment for tonight. Prioritize rest over productivity. Choose sleep over staying up to worry, to plan, to figure things out. Trust that heaven can work while you rest. Trust that you don't have to stay in constant motion to make sure everything works out. The trap is convincing you that you can't afford to rest right now. The truth is, you can't afford not to. Because tomorrow, you're going to need clarity, strength, and discernment that you won't have if you don't replenish tonight. Rest is resistance. Sleep is spiritual warfare. Don't fall into the trap of exhaustion. 7. The trap of comparison and discouragement. The 7th trap being activated tonight is one that hits chosen ones right in their most vulnerable spot: comparison and discouragement. The enemy is going to show you someone else's highlight reel and try to convince you that you're falling behind, missing out, or not measuring up. You're going to see someone's announcement, someone's breakthrough, someone's blessing, someone's testimony, and something in you is going to contract. Something is going to whisper, "Why them and not you? Why is it working for them but not for you? Why are they moving forward while you're stuck? Why are they being celebrated while you're being tested?" That whisper is poison. That comparison is a trap. And the discouragement that follows is designed to get you to quit right before your breakthrough arrives. Here's what the enemy knows that you need to remember. You're seeing their harvest, not their planting season. You're seeing their promotion, not their preparation. You're seeing their public victory, not their private battle. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, and that's never a fair or accurate comparison. The person you're tempted to compare yourself to tonight has their own struggles you don't see, their own delays you don't know about, their own price they paid that you're not aware of. Their breakthrough doesn't diminish yours. Their blessing doesn't cancel yours. Their timing doesn't determine yours. But the enemy wants you to believe it does. He wants you to look at their success and feel like a failure. He wants you to look at their progress and feel stuck. He wants you to look at their recognition and feel invisible. Because if he can get you into that comparison trap, he can breed discouragement. And discouragement makes you quit. How many chosen ones have given up 1 month, 1 week, 1 day before their breakthrough? All because they looked at someone else's timeline and decided their own was taking too long. How many have abandoned their assignment because they compared their process to someone else's and decided they weren't good enough, weren't far enough, weren't fast enough? Don't be that person. Don't let comparisons steal your destiny tonight. Your journey is yours. Your timeline is yours. Your process is yours. And it's all unfolding exactly as it should, in exactly the timing it's meant to. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not missing anything. You're exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, becoming exactly who you need to become. When comparison rises tonight, when you're tempted to measure yourself against someone else's journey, when discouragement tries to settle in your heart, reject it immediately. Celebrate them without diminishing yourself. Honor their season without abandoning yours. Bless their breakthrough while staying faithful to your process. The trap is using someone else's success to make you doubt your own. Don't fall for it. Your moment is coming. And when it does, it will be perfectly timed for exactly who you've become through the wait. 8. The trap of spiritual bypassing. The 8th and final trap the enemy is deploying tonight is the most deceptive of all because it disguises itself as spirituality, spiritual bypassing. The temptation to avoid necessary human action by hiding behind spiritual concepts, to mistake passivity for faith, to confuse inaction with surrender. You might hear yourself saying things tonight like, "I'm just trusting God," while avoiding a conversation you know you need to have. "I'm waiting on divine timing," while ignoring clear instructions you've already received. "I'm staying in peace," while tolerating toxic situations you have the power to change. "I'm surrendering," while actually just refusing to take responsibility. This trap is subtle because it sounds spiritual. It uses the right language, it quotes scripture, it references faith. But underneath the spiritual vocabulary is avoidance, fear, and disobedience, dressed up as holiness. Real faith takes action. Real trust doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what you're guided to do without attachment to the outcome. Real surrender isn't passivity. It's active obedience to what heaven is instructing. Real peace doesn't tolerate abuse. It sets boundaries from a grounded, loving place. Tonight, the enemy is going to try to convince you that the spiritual response is always the passive response, that doing nothing is more faithful than doing something, that waiting is always the answer, even when you've been clearly told to move. But sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is have the hard conversation. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is set the boundary. Sometimes the most surrendered thing you can do is take the action you've been avoiding. Sometimes the most peaceful thing you can do is leave the situation that's destroying your peace. Don't let false spirituality keep you trapped in circumstances you have the authority to change. Don't let misunderstood faith keep you passive when you're supposed to be active. Don't let distorted surrender keep you stuck when you're supposed to be moving. The trap is using spiritual language to justify spiritual disobedience. The trap is hiding behind faith while actually operating in fear. The trap is calling it surrender when it's really just avoiding the uncomfortable action you know you need to take. Tonight, if you feel prompted to do something and you're tempted to spiritualize your way out of it, pause. Ask yourself honestly, am I being led to wait, or am I afraid to move? Am I surrendering, or am I avoiding? Am I trusting God, or am I testing God by refusing to do my part? The enemy wants you passive, frozen, stuck behind spiritual-sounding excuses. Heaven wants you active, obedient, moving in faith, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's scary, even when you can't see the full picture. Don't fall for the trap of spiritual bypassing. Be honest about whether you're operating in faith or fear. And if heaven is telling you to move, move, even if your movement doesn't look spiritual to people who don't understand the difference between surrender and stagnation. So there it is, the enemy's playbook for tonight. 8 traps set, 8 strategies deployed, 8 ways he's trying to derail you right before you cross the finish line. But now you know. Now you can see what you couldn't see before. Now you have the intelligence you need to navigate the next 12 hours without stepping into a single trap. Here's what I need you to understand as we close. The very fact that you're under attack like this is proof that you're dangerously close to your breakthrough. This level of strategy on people who aren't going anywhere. He doesn't deploy this many traps for people who aren't a threat. You're a threat. Your breakthrough is a threat. Your destiny is a threat. What's about to happen in your life is a threat to everything the enemy has been building in the kingdom of darkness. And that's why he's moving tonight with everything he has. But he's already lost. Not because you're strong, though you are. Not because you're powerful, though you carry immense spiritual authority. He's lost because you're aware. Because you've been warned. Because you're not walking into these traps blind. When you can see the trap, you can avoid it. When you know the strategy, you can counter it. When you understand the playbook, you can't be fooled by the plays. So tonight, stay aware, stay grounded, stay connected to your discernment. Don't react to sudden emotions. Don't rush into counterfeit opportunities. Don't engage in manufactured conflicts. Don't isolate yourself through offense. Don't expose what's still forming. Don't let exhaustion make you vulnerable. Don't let comparison breed discouragement. And don't hide behind spiritual bypassing when action is required. Do all of that, and you'll wake up tomorrow having protected your breakthrough. You'll wake up with your destiny intact. You'll wake up having passed the test that many chosen ones fail without even realizing they were being tested. The enemy moves tonight, but you move with awareness, with wisdom, with divine intelligence that exposes every trap before you step into it. You're not fighting alone. Heaven is with you. Angels are assigned to you. The Spirit of God is guiding you through every moment, every decision, every choice. The traps are set, but you're not falling into any of them. Stay sharp, chosen one. Stay aware, stay protected. The breakthrough is closer than the enemy wants you to believe. And after tonight, nothing stands between you and what's been promised. Victory is yours. Guard it well.